Hi, hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kubair. आप सबका स्वागत है. Today's discussion is going to be very, very interesting, and this is going to be about uh, a debate, more or less, between Dubai and Canada. Recently, I mean, when I'm saying recently, almost yesterday or day before yesterday, there was this heated debate that happened on our Facebook group about people who live in Dubai and people who obviously live in Canada, and each one of them had a point of view about which one seems to be a better place to live, and does it make sense to immigrate to Canada or not, and what would be the benefit if you were to move to Canada versus being in Dubai. I personally do have experience of living in both the countries. So I have lived in Dubai for 27 years, and it continues to be a place where I do a lot of business from. I had come here when I was quite young, and I think I was 17 when I first came to Dubai. And then I have progressed through different professions, occupations, businesses. I worked for one of the largest airline companies in the world. I was in aviation, then I got into restaurant business, and then I got into chemical industries, and then I got into scrap business, and then I got into recruitment, HR, manpower. Then Canada happened, then I migrated to Canada. In Canada, I did a couple of businesses, and then somehow immigration happened, and now all I do is talk immigration all the time. But today's video is not about telling you to come to Canada or not to come to Canada. Today is just about a very, very healthy discussion that I intend to have with few of you, with different perspectives as to why you think Canada is better, why do you think Dubai is better. Although there is no fair comparison between the two. I mean, you cannot compare Dubai and Canada because, as I mentioned in the description, that Dubai is just one city. It's a very small city as far as in a very small country as far as Middle East is concerned. And Canada, again, obviously, just the sheer landmass, they are the second largest country in the world. So the comparison is not fair. You're comparing a city to a country. However, what we're trying to compare is the differentiating factor in terms of the lifestyles, in terms of choice of wanting to move to Canada. For example, if you're already in Dubai, if you're already happily settled, living happily ever after in Dubai, do you really want? So let's start first. First, let's take a look at Dubai, what it really looks like. I'm sure a lot of you already know if you're living here. If you don't, then this might just open up your eyes. Take a look. I came to Dubai in the year of 1988. So I practically have lived through, having seen Dubai grow and mature as a vibrant, beautiful city that it now is. It has the best of almost everything. I mean, you snap finger and all creature comfort luxuries are at your disposal. You have to hand it out to the government of Dubai to have created this out of nowhere, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it is just a piece of land in desert, right, with absolutely no other natural resources. Okay, we'll not talk about the oil because oil is not with Dubai; it's with the other Emirates, Abu Dhabi as well. But by and large, they have created this city. They have made this beautiful city, which is absolutely living, thriving, vibrant out of nowhere. So, absolute all credit to the government with very forward-thinking mindset that they have. But now that I played that clip for you for Dubai, it's only fair that we also play a clip for Canada. Well, I mean, the end with the snow, actually, that is what scares most of the people out there. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, then you should subscribe to this channel because we are always generating and creating some very good, credible, quality content. So smash on that subscribe button, which is here. It's here. Okay, so smash that subscribe button, and of course share, like that. You should obviously follow me on Instagram. It's only because we again also update our Instagram channel very frequently with lots of again good information. At least I think it's pretty good. If you're at least interested in Canada, then you would want to do that. Now, today's discussion. So one of the biggest factors or differentiating factors between the two regions, because Dubai cannot be compared to Canada because it's one city versus a country. So let's say UAE, or let's even talk about the entire Middle Eastern region as such. One of the biggest differentiating factors which worry or which scares a lot of people is the weather. All right, because once you have gotten used to this nice, warm, balmy weather, you tend to have that scare or fear of cold and snow, and you start thinking that, will I be able to manage, will I be able to survive in that cold weather? That is one of the biggest fears or scare factors. For me, it was actually something which I really paid a lot of attention to. I mean, I decided not to migrate to Canada mainly because I was so scared of cold, because I basically am a Delhi boy. So I'm not not familiar with cold, because in Delhi the cold really gets to you. It's like bone chilling cold. But the fact of having to live in a snowed country was something which wasn't really agreeing with me. But today I feel absolutely differently. The winters are beautiful. I mean, the snow, once it has snowed, it's unbelievable sight. Yes, going out sometimes can get tricky, but then again, on the comparative side, Dubai also gets pretty hot. I mean, 50 degrees is, I'm sure we are already seeing temperatures of 42, 43 now. We'll very soon be hitting 50 in Dubai, and it gets pretty hot. Some people say you can actually boil an egg on a street on a nice summer afternoon. So having taken those comparisons, in both the countries, life does not stop. Yes, there could be, some inconveniences. So just the way in Dubai or in the Middle East during the months of summer, when the heat is really absolutely fierce, you tend to stay indoors with the air conditions on. Similarly, in Canada, in the fierce winters, you tend to either stay indoors or you tend to move around in heated environments, whether it's your car, it's your home, it's your office. So that sort of takes it away. And people somehow think that because it has snowed, the life will come to a standstill, it'll come to a stop. It does not happen. Life continues just as normal as if nothing has happened. People get used to it. A lot of people get worried that maybe their children will not acclimatize to that condition, or they will not be able to do. Trust me, nothing of that sort happens. You may have it's a mental block. Winters are not going to kill you, to be very honest. Yeah, I mean, it will kill you if you sort of are stupid about it. But otherwise, if you're just careful and you dress up in proper layers and in proper clothing, you move around in areas or in environments which are conducive to human living, you'll be fine. Hi, Aryan. Welcome to my channel. How are you?
Hi, sir. I'm good. How are you? I'm a big fan of yours, and thanks a lot for making a lot of videos for us.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Aryan, where are you based? Are you based? Which
Actually,
part of the world are you?
I'm currently in Mississauga in Canada.
Oh, finally we have somebody from Canada. Okay, where are you from? Where are you? Where were you originally from? Where did you come from? Give us a bit of a background.
Actually, I'm back. I'm from India, from Haryana.
Okay.
Yeah.
And any experience living in the Middle East ever?
Yeah, I visited Dubai, and I've experienced both the stuff. So, like, as comparing, like, if I want to go for Dubai only and only if I want to go for a sales job, marketing job, while Canada has a lot of IT opportunities.
Okay.
And while even the most of the social benefits that you get is in Canada. Like,
You
and
get social benefits in Canada. Okay, yeah.
yeah, and the destination.
So hold on. Now, are you in Canada as a permanent resident? Or are you in Canada as a temporary resident?
Actually, I came to Canada 2 years ago on study permit, and
Okay.
previous year I got my work permit.
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
now I'm thankful to government that they opened PR to PR.
Okay. All right. That's good.
And I applied in it.
So you came to Canada first as a student, then you got your work permit, then you applied through TR to PR. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. So how old are you, if you don't mind? Because you
I'm
look pretty young. What, how you,
I'm
how old are you? 14,
I'm
18, 19?
21.
Okay, 21. All right, fair enough. So at what age did you go to Dubai looking for a sales job then?
Actually, no. Like I visited, like my relatives used to visit. They live over there, so I visited during my grade 10 or 11 and 12.
Oh,
So
okay,
I
okay.
see
So
the
that was pretty young. All right. What has been your experience so far? Studying in Canada, then working.
like
What do you think?
Canada is, first of all, is a very beautiful place. I love,
Okay.
and mostly, and be ready for the winters if you're coming to Canada.
Don't scare people, man. Come on. I just told them that it's not so scary.
Yeah, it's not scary, but it's very good in winters, as you see.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yep.
is. It
So
is. It
as a
is.
student, like it was a lot of new opportunity for me. I was getting excited that new place, and the study are really, really very like more practical as compared to the like my back home country, India.
Okay.
And after like on study permit, like most of the students question whether you get proper job after study. Yes, you get it, but
Oh,
you
you
have
get
to.
it. Okay. So
But you have to.
what are you working as?
I'm as a data entry. I
Okay.
work
You're
as a
working as.
data entry, which is a
And
like a,
what did you complete your studies in? What kind of
I
what did you
completed my
study?
study in advertising and marketing.
Okay, you studied advertising and marketing, and then you got a job as data entry.
Yeah.
As a student life, there is a lot of talk which goes on with a lot of people that student life is very difficult in Canada. What do you think?
Yeah, like first of all, if you have never have visited like Canada or any other country, and as a first time experience, yeah, it is a very hard time because you're coming very far away from your home and you're living in
Of course,
all alone. So you
of
get
course.
like physical and mentally something sometimes sick.
Yeah,
But
yeah, absolutely.
after completing one semester, you get to know about anything that way, how you can get job, how you can make more connection, build yourself, make a good profile. So after graduation, you get the job easily.
Okay, okay. So if you were to suggest to your friends and relatives, would you tell them to come to Canada?
Obviously, I will
Okay,
be
cool.
happy to tell them.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining
Uh,
in, Aryan. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much.
Well, that was Aryan. Great perspective. I mean, from a student, because there is a lot of talk that goes on. You know that there are students who come to Canada and they find it extremely difficult because probably it's the first time out in a different country, and they face a lot of difficulties. Whether it's about finding a job, whether it's finding a social network, whether it is adjusting, acclimatizing, whether it's different weather, different kind of life, different lifestyle, different people, even cooking for that matter, right? I mean, so I know that that becomes a bit difficult challenge. So a good perspective to hear from a student. But in before I take on the next guest on, let's talk about job market for such. Middle East, the job market is different versus the job market in Canada. In Middle East, you will first have to find a job, get you will come to Dubai or you will come to the Middle East only once you have found a job, because you will come on a work visa, right? Uh, Not same as far as Canada is concerned. You can go there as a student, you can get a work permit. Yes, you can also come to Canada on a work permit, but we're talking about permanent residents. So if you're migrating to Canada, then obviously you're free to work in any kind of a job you want to. As far as salaries are concerned, that is always a big point of discussion. As far as starting off, at which level do you start off as? Do you start at a junior level, entry level, Canadian work experience? That also has a lot of discussion, and it also is a largely a demotivating factor for people who are not familiar with how the things operate in Dubai, in Canada. So if you're in Dubai and you're in a middle management level, senior management level, you're drawing a good hefty salary, as Dubai salaries are, or for that matter, a lot of Middle East salaries are. You may want to think a lot before wanting to migrate to Canada. Why? Because not that Canada doesn't offer you great opportunities. It's just that because you will have a difficult time comprehending the differences in your pay package. For example, what you will make in Dubai or the Middle East is tax free. So what you're being told in your offer letter is what you get in your bank account. Okay, versus in Canada, what you get in your offer letter is not what you get in your bank account, because there will be deductions for your taxes, for your remittances. So you will realize that there is a significant portion of your salary which you don't see until you claim for tax returns, etc. But even then, it's a tax country, right? And we do say that there's a lot of heavy taxes as far as Canada is concerned. The more you make, the more taxes you pay, of course. I think that is the reality in most countries of the world. The more money you will make, the more heavily you get taxed. In Dubai, what you see is what you get as far as your pay package is concerned. But having said that, let's talk about the benefits. Does Dubai give you the same benefits that Canada will give you as being a resident? But while I come to that, let me bring in Hani, or Hani, I'm not sure how it pronounces his name, and let's see what he has to offer. Hi Hani, how are you? Is it Hani or Hani?
Hani,
Hani, welcome Hani, welcome to my channel. Where are you currently located, my friend?
Abu Dhabi.
Very nice, Abu Dhabi. The reason you're watching this video this video is because you plan to go to Canada. You have somebody in Canada. How come you stumbled upon this video?
Frankly, I'm a fan of you. You
Oh,
supported me in my immigration case through the Facebook, through a lot
okay.
of communication have been done through your channel and your Facebook.
I'm glad to
I
hear that. Thank you.
already I am a permanent resident in Canada, but
Oh, very nice.
nowadays, due to the pandemic, I'm still in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Uh, Hoping I don't know when I can relocate in Canada due to the pandemic. This is number one. And for the comparison which you're talking about, I have some issues that I want to discuss it with you.
Please. This is what this video is about. And I mean, I'm glad we brought you in, because you are living in Abu Dhabi. You become a permanent resident, so you have a good view of what's happening in both sides.
Not 100%. I don't have the experience in Canada, but I have been here in Dubai something like
Okay.
almost 20 years. So
Very
uh,
nice.
I have all the data here, but I have small data for Canada. My dream to immigrate to Canada, not for myself, it was for my family, my kids.
Okay.
There is a good opportunity in the university education for my kids.
Yes, of
Uh,
course.
this is something good in Canada for the higher education, the universities, the colleges.
Yeah.
Almost the fees is not that high as UE, the university fees.
Yeah.
And the career, even for them in the future, it will be easier than me.
Okay.
They will have a Canadian passport. I'm originally from Egypt, by the way.
Okay.
If you are comparing Egypt to Canada, I can say that with no hesitation, go to Canada, full stop, and nothing.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Due to many things, the income, the country itself, the transportation, the health. From Egypt, it is very easy decision
Of
to
course.
immigrate. From UAE, from Abu Dhabi, although it was a dream for me, but after I catch the dream, I realized I have a struggle, a fight,
Okay.
internal fight. Thank God, I can go there once I have a lot of issues with the quarantine, with the pandemic now, with the I don't know how it works with the job or with the career there. But it's not a small issue. The comparison which you are doing, you started by the issue of the job, the issue of the taxes, the income for each job, uh, especially when you have a good experience in a country and you will start in Canada
Yeah.
from scratch. I believe due to the even for my education, although it is approved in Canada, but I'm engineer and I have to make another, let me say, certificates so that I
Yeah.
can be a professional engineer to continue the
Yeah.
work on Canada. Otherwise, I have to work as a construction management. So
I understand.
For even for my wife, she's working here. She don't know what will be her status there in Canada. She's an English teacher, so here she
Yeah,
have a good market. There it is an
yeah,
English country, so
yeah, yeah. So she'll have to first get her certification as a teacher before she can start teaching, right?
yes, yes. Uh, but I believe both they are good countries. Canada have good opportunities, especially for our kids.
Yeah.
We will try our best to catch some jobs uh, to continue our life in Canada as a citizen in Canada, because here we are not a citizen. By the end, within one
It's
month,
temporary here, right?
I can be fired from my job and I can lose everything here, and I have to return back to my country.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much.
Then,
Thank you, Hani. Wish you
thank
all the
you.
best. I wish you all the best. Enjoy your time in Dubai, or sorry, Abu Dhabi, and I hope to see you soon one of these days in Canada.
Sure, inshallah, I will meet you. Inshallah.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you for joining in. Well, that was Hani, and he made a couple of good points there, right? One of the reasons why people do want to migrate to Canada uh, is the temporary versus permanent scenario, right? So no matter what kind of job you have in Dubai, no matter what kind of occupation or profession you are in the Middle East, if you're not a business owner, if you are in a job, it's going to be temporary. So God forbid, whenever you do lose that job, your status in the country is temporary. You will have to leave country or find another job. Now, if you cannot find another job, then you will have to leave the country, right? Versus Canada, there is permanence in the sense like you are a permanent resident, you have all the rights just like any citizen in Canada, except of course there are a few differences. You cannot vote, you cannot work in certain high sensitive occupations, you cannot stand for the office, obviously. But by and large, those are the only differences. You will have access to all the benefits that the government has to offer to the citizens. That is one very big difference as such, because if you are in the Middle East, if you are in Dubai, you are in Qatar, you are in Kuwait, you are in Bahrain, you're in Saudi, you do not have access to any government benefits as such. At the end of the day, you are on your own. If something happens, either your company should take care of you, or you got to go back. So that big sense of permanence, or that factor that you may have to leave the country on any given point of day, God forbid something goes wrong, that weighs very heavily on people's mind. That is one. Second factor, which is also very interesting and something which is very valuable for most people who are looking to immigrate to Canada, is the children's long-term, do we call it future security, whatever you wish to term that. Again, it stems from the same fact of being temporary versus permanent. A lot of people who have, for example, it was me as well, right? So when you started living in Dubai, you did not wanted to go back and settle in, because you suddenly felt that you were accustomed to a different kind of life, you were accustomed to different kind of lifestyle, you were accustomed to different way of doing things, which would or maybe not possible if you were to go back to your home country. That is number one. Number two, your children are getting educated, mind you, in places not only in Dubai, but I'm sure in Qatar and Kuwait as well. I'm not sure about Kuwait because I'm not familiar with the cost of education there, but I know for a fact in Dubai, cost of education for children is expensive. It's very, very expensive. For example, there are some schools in Dubai which would probably charge you in the tune of more than what university education for international students per year would cost you in Canada. I'm talking in excess of 20, 25,000, $30,000. More than that is what you would pay for a student in a school in Dubai. Okay, I think about 75,000 dirhams, 80,000 dirhams, 90,000 dirhams is what some schools in Dubai charge. Now, same children, if they were to come in Canada and they were permanent residents, the education in public schools is free, right? That is one. Number two, if you are going to go to a college as a permanent resident, most of you already know, as an international student, you pay on an average anywhere between $15,000 to $30,000 a year for cost of your per year for the cost of your college education, versus a permanent resident would probably pay 1/4 of that fee. So the fee that the permanent resident students pay in a college is almost 1/4 of what an international student pays. So it's heavily, I wouldn't say subsidized, but there's a huge benefit in college education as well. Shine says, I believe Dubai only gives citizenship to certain professionals, whereas for Canada, all are eligible. Quite true. Dubai has recently introduced the eligibility for citizenship as well for United Arab Emirates. But there are very strict criteria under which you may be eligible to apply for citizenship in Dubai as under the United Arab Emirates as the country. But as far as Canada is concerned, the citizenship criteria is much more simpler and straightforward. So it basically is that as a permanent resident, once you have resided in Canada for 3 years in the 5-year cycle, and you have been filing your tax returns regardless of how much tax you've paid, that is not the criteria. The fact that you're filing your tax returns, then you become eligible to apply for citizenship. Yes, there is some other criteria as well, but those are hardly anything. Once you become a citizen, then you get your passport, and then obviously the visa-free travel opens up to more than 150 countries, which is quite significant. Not only that, of course, you are a citizen, so you have all the rights of a citizen in a country, in a first world country. That makes a huge difference. Hafsa says, can you please elaborate a detailed review of immigrating to Canada from home country is better or from Dubai? As of now, my profession in Dubai is a teacher and I'm looking forward to immigrate. Now, well, good question. There is no difference in immigrating to Canada, whether you're from Dubai or from your home country. The process is absolutely the same. You have absolutely no additional benefit if you are living in Dubai versus your home country, wherever that might be. As Mayor just said, you would come to probably Dubai to make quick money because the salaries that are offered in Dubai, I don't think they are offered in pretty much any part of the world. I mean, whether it's the Western world, whether it's the Eastern world, the salaries that the companies or the organizations or the professions in Dubai offer are pretty those kind of salaries. But having said that, you are also living in a very expensive place where what you earn is what you spend. I'm not sure how much you save out of that amazing amount of package of money that you make in Dubai. You will also need to do a comparison as to what you would save in the long run versus here. But to answer the question that Hafsa has, for example, in Dubai, in most of the occupations, you may not need additional certification. I don't think you need additional certification to teach in schools in Dubai. As long as you're qualified, you will be allowed to teach. As a doctor, of course, you will need to have certain certifications from Ministry of I think Health Services in United Arab Emirates. You will need additional certifications. I think that's the process with most countries in the world. You will need to take additional license certification from the respective health ministry. But in Canada, it's a different thing altogether. You will need to basically, not only appear for new examinations, certifications, you probably will have to even study, again, all over again, over a certain period of time before you can get those certifications. So Canada just makes it that much more difficult for those factors. For example, you can't teach in Canada unless you are certified, unless you have your certifications. You cannot practice law unless obviously you've been called to the bar, of course. I mean, that again is the case with all countries. You cannot, if you're a doctor, you cannot practice medicine unless, of course, you have the regulatory license. If you're an engineer, you cannot work as an engineer unless, of course, you have the regulatory certifications and license. If you're a carpenter, if you're an electrician, you cannot work as a carpenter or electrician in Canada unless you have cleared and passed those specific examinations and tests and have received those certifications. So Canada just treats all these occupations with that much more respect. It needs them to be regulated. It needs them to be authorized so that, for example, if you are on the other end of things, for example, you are the customer and you have a carpenter or an electrician coming to your house to sort of do repairs, wouldn't you want somebody who's authorized, certified, absolutely licensed, and who knows what that person is doing versus a person who may not be licensed or authorized? So I guess that becomes another area of differentiation. But something which some people appreciate and others obviously find it more difficult. As a newcomer in Canada, one of the bigger differences that people also find is the Canadian experience. So, for example, if you had work experience in a different country and you come to Dubai, your work experience is accepted. Most of the skills are transferable, are considered as transferable, and you can basically come and join in a good management level, even if you are transferring from a different position in a different country. But in Canada, unless your skills are transferable, for example, IT skills are considered as transferable, lots of other occupations not as much. So you probably will have to start at an entry level, or not an entry level, but a lower level than what you are used to. Your management experience may not be accepted in the same way in Canada. Why? Because there is a bit of a difference in the way things are done. And because you are not familiar, for example, as an accountant, you're not familiar with the way things are done. As a salesperson, you are not familiar with the way sales are done. As an administrative assistant, as an administration manager, as an HR person, you are not familiar with the law of the land. You're not familiar with the way things are done within that particular circle, and therefore it becomes a requirement that you obtain that work experience before you can then climb up. But in a lot of cases, people are concentrating only on a job. If you sort of deviate from that and probably look at being self-employed, you will realize that that is not a bad idea as well. I mean, just the way Dubai offers you a lot of opportunity to become a business owner, to be self-employed, to look at your own entrepreneur skills. Similarly, Canada does offer you a lot of opportunity there as well. Again, as I keep saying, the comparison isn't there because Dubai is just a small city, okay? Extremely small city in terms of the geography, versus Canada is a very huge landmass, second largest country in the world, and populations are diverse as well. When we say Canada, the population is really multicultural, really diverse, versus being here where there are a bit of differentiations where communities tend to stick with each other. I guess it's the quality of air, it's the quality of water, it's the biggest differentiator as far as I'm concerned is the 4 seasons. Canada has 4 proper seasons. You have summer, you have winter, you have autumn, you have spring, versus in Dubai or most of the Middle East, it's hot and not so hot, right? So another big differentiator. But yeah, those are main differences that people find between Dubai or Middle East and Canada. Taxation is always going to be a big thing that plays in people's mind. Standard of living. Now, in Dubai or in the Middle East, a lot of people have access to domestic help, whether it's housemates, drivers, laundry, handymen, to do your small chores, to do your small things. I was quite used to having somebody else do those small tasks that you had to do. In Canada, it's you obviously all these help is still available, but it comes very expensive. The reason for that is the cost of labor is very expensive in Canada, and one of the reasons is because of the minimum wage law. Having somebody to come and drill a nail on the wall can become very, very expensive in Canada. Therefore, people tend to do these chores themselves. That is another thing that people find it difficult, in the sense, like, if they're not, for example, I was not a handyman. I could not do things myself while I was in Dubai, as in, putting up the pictures on the wall, drilling some holes, putting some things together. IKEA was not my favorite store, to be very honest. I just did not have that knack of putting things together. But Canada taught me differently. I can now drill some very nice, accurate holes in the wall. There are some stores in Canada which will actually teach you these skills, so that obviously they're trying to sell you stuff as well, but they will teach you these skills so that you could practice them at home and do your own kind of stuff. You will paint your own house if you have to, because painting your room, you're painting your house can cost you a bomb in Canada versus what it would cost you in Dubai, for that matter. Small things, but make a very big difference when it comes to people making these decisions. In the end, it will boil down to your own personal likes and dislikes, what you prefer, what you don't prefer, what you can handle, what you can't handle. For a lot of people, I think it's more about the long-term security. It is about their children's long-term benefit in terms of schools, education, passport, citizenship. They're thinking about their own old age and some place to retire. That becomes a very big factor. Apart from that, people who are holding back as far as Dubai or as far as Middle East is concerned are people who are in occupations which is obviously paying them quite well. For them, it's a big question mark. Does it make economic sense to move to Canada or not? Probably not. And I would probably tell you not to do that either, because let's say you're drawing a good package of 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 dirhams per month in Dubai at this point of time, and you obviously are living, mashallah, quite nice life. You're ruling the roost, as they say. If you were to migrate to Canada today, you probably will not find the same kind of salary package. Forget about same. You probably will have to start at a very lower rank. So that becomes the first calculation that people start doing, because obviously money matters, right? You may not find a same kind of job in a same kind of occupation that you're practicing. Again, that if you're very career oriented, that becomes a big question mark. Do you want to migrate? You don't want to migrate. But apart from that, there are, and the weather, which a lot of people have a problem with. Apart from that, there are not too many reasons which you can give me and say that I do not want to migrate. All right. It's usually going to be the occupation and the job versus money, and probably the weather, which you can, I can talk you out of. But as I said, different people have different circumstances, unique circumstances that hold them back or propels them to wanting to move. This is basically it that I have for today. And that's just about it. I will see you next time.